Before this video starts, I just want to announce that I'm officially a part of the Call of Duty Next Creator Watch Party program. So what that means is that on Tuesday, September 30th at 12 p.m. Eastern, I will be live here on my channel watching and reacting to Call of Duty Next as an official Call of Duty partner here. So I'm super excited. We're going to be seeing live gameplay from multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. So it's going to be a great time. And I will also be giving away beta codes during the stream. So if you want to get a free beta code, stop on by and I will be giving them away whenever I can during the stream. So thank you to Call of Duty and Activision for the opportunity. And thank you guys for giving me the chance to actually be a part of Call of Duty Next in some shape or form. So very excited. But let's get right into the video. So now that the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 Zombies reveal has come and gone, I really wanted to talk about the curse mode announcement because this is honestly the standout for me with the entire zombies reveal because it really caters to me because I'm a OG zombies player. I love how difficult classic zombies was, and I loved when the game gave that as a challenge because now the whole idea of survival is really non-existent in the modern zombies formula. And not to say that's a bad thing, but I do miss it, and I feel like Treyarch should have went ahead and created a whole different mode to really incorporate that, which curse mode seems to be their solution. Now, I do want to get out of the way that this is not simply just a quote unquote classic mode. It's definitely not that. The mode is way bigger than that. So, first off, what is curse mode? So, curse mode is just a hardcore version of the standard mode where it's going to have different systems compared to standard. So right off the bat, when you get into a game of curse, you're going to be starting off with a pistol, basically a classic zombies thing. And then you're going to have an entirely different point system. And this is so interesting because with the way classic zombies work, the point system really works so well alongside that because if you want to point maximize, you're going to use the pistol to get the most amount of points out of the first couple of rounds, and then you're going to end up hitting the box, or you're going to be opening doors, or you're going to be getting a wall buy and such. So that's why the system works so well there. And I feel like Treyarch saw that and they were like, you know what? If we're going to do this mode, we need to introduce a system that really works with that. And what better yet is the classic point system that is inspired by Black Ops 3. So I thought that's interesting to like point out and such because I really like that they're seeing, hey, maybe if we were to do some classic stuff, maybe some things from classic do work. And I'm really happy Treyarch saw that because I know the whole idea with the change to the modern point system, it's just because a lot of the weapons don't really give you a lot of points in the classic point system. So now that there's set values for getting a kill, critical hits, or melee hits, all these weapons are going to get you the same amount of points. So Treyarch really likes that. But obviously, in a scenario where you're starting off with a pistol, well, that system doesn't really work. And I know a lot of people were telling me throughout the year, well, if you just want to play classic zombies, just start with a pistol. No, no, it's not the exact same. And now that Treyarch has proved that case, I am so happy that, a lot of people can see that now because, yeah, you can't just start with a pistol in Modern Zombies because you're just going to get the same amount of points as you would with an assault rifle. So the challenge of starting with a pistol is not really present there. And the whole idea with starting with a pistol is to point maximize. So that whole thing is coming back. So that's the thing I just want to make clear there. And yeah, Treyarch really understood the assignment with that one because now it just proves that hey, classic point system works with certain mechanics of the past, and then the modern point system works because of how people are going to use different weapons for their loadouts. So they don't want to get limited to a certain amount of points because they're using, a terrible gun and such. And that also opens my eyes as well because I'm just saying, hey, just bring back a classic point system or just a hybrid of it. But I don't understand the concept of why there's two point systems in the first place. So props to Treyarch for that. That's fantastic. Now, the reason why I say this is not fully a classic mode, because those are the only restrictions available right off the bat. So you have just the classic point system, the starting pistol, and no minimap. But pretty much you have everything else available. And the idea of the mode really is to unlock the restrictions through the relic system. So the relic system is basically items that are scattered around the map, which are going to have their own little Easter egg to unlock. And once you unlock these relics, they're going to have their own set of restrictions. And these restrictions could be obviously like the 4 perk limit, or no armor, or no ammo boxes, etc. So I like the idea behind it because, well, obviously it adds a whole sense of progression. So you want to add these restrictions and build up a lot of restrictions, and probably they're going to have you use different restrictions and in variety of different ways in order to unlock new restrictions. So I like the concept there. I think that is such a great way, and it feels like they took custom mutations, and then they saw, hey, you know what? Instead of just making a classic mode where we take away stuff that is not classic and just call it a mode, I really like that they took it a step further and really saw that, hey, a classic point system, a classic, starting weapon, which is the pistol and such, we need these things in order to really make the mode feel like, hey, you're playing a hardcore version, which is similar to a quote unquote classic zombie style. So, very happy with that. Now, I think my only concerns with the mode is the unlock system with it. Now, Treyarch hasn't announced what it is, but they did say that the Easter egg quest is going to be available on Cursed right on launch. So that's a major W. So you can do the Easter egg on Curse whenever you figure out how to unlock Curse. But unfortunately, it has been leaked how it's unlocked. I'm not going to say how, but if you have an idea, like the most predictable idea, then you would already know what it's going to be. So personally, for me, I feel like it should not be time gated in any shape or form. I feel like the unlock should be somewhere in the map right on launch and have players look for that. It doesn't have to be time gated until a certain time. I feel like that just allows players to miss out on the content that really interests them. Because for me personally, I want to play Curse right off the bat. I don't care how difficult it is. I think if I wanted to play a classic version of zombies, I would do the Curse mode right off the bat. And that's what interests me for Black Ops 7. But the fact that I can't do that on launch, I think that's a big problem for me. I know people are going to say, well, if it's time gated, you can just wait. I know people are going to tell me that. I don't care. I really prefer to play it right on launch. I don't mind a whole unlock quest. I actually preferred that, but I do prefer when it's something that's available right off the bat. I really hope Treyarch changes the whole unlock idea behind it because I don't like it being time gated. I want to try it on launch. That's my only criticism there, but everything else sounds great about the mode. And this mode is honestly going to be a huge game changer for zombies because this just introduces variety into the mode. I feel like that hasn't been seen in zombies for a long time because the way modern zombies works is so streamlined that the whole formula is the same. But with classic mechanics introduced now, and they're optional, right? So you can mix and match different restrictions and they're going to play so differently. I think this just introduces so many ideas for content. And if you're not a content creator, if you want to introduce new challenges for yourself or design new challenges, you can do that. Hell, I had an idea right now with Curse mode where I can put all the restrictions in a spin wheel. And then if I had to choose 5 restrictions out of random, I can do that. Just spin the wheel and it's gonna choose. I think that introduces a lot of variety and it's gonna make the game so replayable. So I can't wait to try that out. It's a huge game changer. Like I said, the only negative I have is the whole unlock criteria, but regardless of that, this mode is so interesting and I'm so excited to play it on launch. And yeah, that's overall my thoughts on the curse mode and why I think it's going to be a huge game changer for Call of Duty Zombies because this is just the mode that I think a lot of people really needed. Now, it's not the mode that people wanted, and I think I forgot who said this. I think it was Jason Blundell, that Milo recently brought up, is that, necessarily you don't have to give people what they want. You need to give them what they need. And I feel like this is the mode that us hardcore players needed. I would have been okay with, a classic zombies mode and such, but this sounds way better than that, and I will take it any day of the week. So I'm very happy. Treyarch, great job on it, and I can't wait to play it. So that is all, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I can't wait to see you guys on Tuesday for the Call of Duty Next live stream. So peace out, guys, and have a good day.